What's going? Oh, I probably should have put me on full screen, but screw it. Whatever. It's live. We're good to go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Inside the Horseshoe podcast. My name is Matt. Right next to me is the Raptor, Jonathan Peck. Jonathan, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, Matt. Doing good. And the Raptor itself, very cool, very calm, collective for this Thursday afternoon, about from the East Coast, and it was just more relaxing and calm. I just got back from outside, so if you don't see me very close to me, I'm a bit sweaty, so I try to at least people won't notice it. So now it's kind
All right, sounds good. Now, we will be getting into the schedule today. The rest of the schedule, we didn't cover it all last week. We're going to get through week 9 to the end of the season, just going over some of the matchups we think are going to be the biggest matchups of the year. Now, yes, let's go. Now, I do want to throw this out there. I know you sent some in the group chat about Julio Jones. So I figured, let's talk about Julio Jones. He's in the, he's in the news. Atlanta's going to trade him. It's all but confirmed at this point. What are a couple of teams that you think could trade for Julio? Absolutely. Go Colts.
all right. But besides the Colts, I'm actually going to the Chargers. I think he'll be perfect. I think he will be if it depends on the teams or circumstances. If it fits him well. By judging the teams were slated that might be in some trade talks, I thought the Chargers might be a best fit for him because if sort of like help Justin Herbert out, not because he doesn't need any help, it just like help maybe elevate his game with arguably one of the best receivers in the league the last like 5 or 6 years. So it just thought might be a good idea. It's kind of like when DeAndre Hopkins went to Arizona, kind of helped Kyle Murray out to elevate his way from his rookie year. And I thought maybe he might do the little same way if he gets straight to the Chargers and help him out, maybe elevate Justin Herbert out as a quarterback.
Absolutely. And for me, speaking of Go Colts, yes, sir. I'll throw Indy in there as an option. I made a video a couple days ago. Some people agreed with me, others disagreed with me. Which is all good and whatnot. I like the back and forth, makes it all fun and whatnot. But that was obviously before I factored in like Eric Fisher's signing, which definitely does take away cap space. So I think the Colts, and I can look it up real quick, I believe they have 12 or 13 million. So maybe Julio wouldn't be an option for them because they just simply don't have the money, I'm assuming anyway. But let's say the Colts don't get him. Another guy, or another team, I should say, that I think could trade for Julio that could really use another receiver because they love their receivers is the Giants. I think that's a team we should watch out for, maybe trying to make a move. So that is true. And I'm looking at the cap right now for Indianapolis. So it says cap space with top 51 is 22.7, and it does include Eric Fisher. So and maybe they just have an updated website. This is according to it's Botrack, however you say the website. They have all like not just NFL, but I believe they have NBA salary and whatnot too. So even if they don't have, let's say whatever, I think it's 20 something million, they could make some work. But the Giants is a team to watch out for making a trade because they love the receivers, and Daniel Jones literally needs all the help he can get. Another team I could see maybe making a move for Julio Jones, and I know he was joking in the group chat, but I think it's another possibility is the Raiders. I don't know what their cap situation is, but I mean, you want to give Derek Carr another weapon. Derek Carr is definitely the guy, and then after that, I mean, I don't even know if New England has the cap space to do it, but if they have the cap space, watch out for Belichick to try to make a move for Julio Jones. But is there another team you can think of real quick?
I think the Ravens, but I think they have a good enough receiver, well enough to do it. I wouldn't be surprised if they try and get Julio and the type of contract they have gotten. So yeah, I think the thing they needed to do is basically for Atlanta though is to very much save much cap as possible. That's the reason they want to trade Julio, because to save a lot of money is only him or even Matt Ryan signing those huge contracts. It kind of hurt the team with their cap value and money structure. So I think that's, and now right now with Atlanta, they're in rebuild mode. So basically, maybe Julio doesn't want to be part in the rebuild mode. Well, even if it does, like they don't feel like sort of the team's interest as a whole down the road. So I think that's the reason they want to trade him. So I think is between the Chargers or the Ravens. I could see them maybe they can look for a trade, just elevate the QB around them. So I thought, well, you get sort of arguably the best wide receiver for the last 5 or 6 years, help them out, help with your offense.
Right. I didn't even think about Baltimore. I think Baltimore is another option that could definitely be a place for him to go to, because I mean they drafted Bateman, and Bateman, we don't know how well he's going to be in the NFL. I'm assuming he's going to be really good, but who else do they have besides like Mark Andrews as an option? I know they have Hollywood Brown too, but I mean he had to step down. So you add Julio to the mix, that makes them a really dangerous team, because really I know a lot of people are saying Baltimore is a team everybody should be scared of and whatnot. And I get it. Lamar Jackson, really good quarterback. Great running the ball. Can be good with throwing the ball. He's made some great passes, but I don't consider them that big of a threat when we look at the AFC as a whole. I think of Kansas City, Buffalo, and even Cleveland as a bigger threat to anybody in AFC. But you add Julio to the mix, they got the defense. Now you give them a top 5 receiver at least. And this is a team that I think everybody in AFC would be worried to play against. But that would be a lot of fun to watch too. So there really wasn't a whole lot of news outside of that surrounding the NFL. I'll probably make a video talking about the contract stuff with Indy tomorrow. So I'll have something out for that, because I know there's contract stuff with like Darius Leonard going on right now, and I assume Braden Smith too. But with that being out of the way, I should say, let's get into week 9 of the NFL schedule. And yeah, I think the league is adjusting to it as well. That's why I know they were really good, like when Lamar had his first full season starting, but it felt like they were really starting to get the hang of the rest of the NFL anyway, was starting to kind of understand that offense and how they ran.
And the Greg Roman offense sometimes had some very significant flaws once they kind of know to adjust. That's sort of more of a flaw of maybe the system that Greg Roman used to in some instances.
True. So, you add Julio to the mix. That makes the team scary, but honestly, I don't think they win the division this upcoming season. I think they're at least second in the AFC North. I think it's Cleveland's right now, but I guess you never know. Maybe Pittsburgh fixes some of the issues. I know they lost like Bud Dupree, but Pittsburgh's still a team to watch out for. But yeah, I think you add Julio to that team, they win the North, I think. So I'm gonna pull up the schedule though real quick for the season. We're gonna go to week 9. And I'll scroll down a little bit so we can get the entire schedule on screen. There we go. So just looking at the schedule right now, what is a couple matchups that really stick out to you as maybe being some games we should watch out for that week?
I think maybe Titans and Rams could be interesting down the stretch if both of these teams can stay be competitive around that time in November. I could see them could be very good and might be a very close game around the stretch. Besides that, well, even maybe Bears and Steelers, I guess, on Monday night. But besides that, that's none of the kind of really stand out that much. There are some pretty much okay games right there, but none of them really stands out besides that one.
Okay. And for me, I agree with the Titans-Rams game. I think that one's going to be a really good game. Another game, as my dog is literally throwing their toy around upstairs, banging it around. That's not fun to hear. But another game I think that could be a fun game to watch out for and it really depends on Trevor Lawrence and how he looks. I think Buffalo Jacksonville's the game that could be a lot of fun. I think the Packers Chiefs game, of course, it depends what's happening with Rodgers. I'm starting to believe Rodgers is going to stay in Green Bay. That's just my whole viewpoint on it. I think if he was going to be traded, it would have happened by now. I think he's going to get paid. He's going to be the highest paid quarterback of all time. I think that's going to happen. So, I think that's going to be a great game. But then again, if it's Jordan Love or Blake Bortles stepping into Kansas City, then, I completely changed my mind on that. And I don't think it's going to be a great game. And then I think another one is Cleveland, Cincinnati. I think that's going to be a great game too. I assume Joe Burrow is going to be healthy. And, look, I think Cincinnati did an okay job in the draft, filling in some needs. They improved the offensive line a little. They obviously should have went with Penei Sewell, but still, you're getting a guy like Jamar Chase. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch those two play. Just, I hope they can keep them healthy, but that could be a fun game. And then I'll throw the Jets, Colts in there. I mean, I kind of like what the Jets are doing this offseason. I think they're not going to be a team that's going to compete for anything, but I think they're taking the right steps. I think Salah's doing a really good job so far. And look, I mean, it's hard to make the Jets worth anything. That's why I give credit to Rex Ryan and Butt Fumble for taking them to a AFC Championship game. But I think that could be fun too. But really, it depends. What Zach Wilson look like? Is he good? Is he what they think he is, or is he Sam Darnold? And they basically just, got a cheaper version of Sam Darnold. But yeah, those are some of the games. Oh, and then Arizona, San Francisco. That's another game I want to throw in there too. I think that's gonna be a great game. I can't believe I forgot that. And look, guys, you want to go to a primetime game? Go to the Colts Jets game. $37 for a ticket. Going to a primetime game, that'd be fun. Even though it is the Jets and the Colts. So we'll go on to week 10 really quick here. Boom. There we go. As my internet. There we go. So I'll go to you again. What are some games that you're seeing right here that you think could be some big games too? Say there's a couple I can see.
Ravens and Dolphins Thursday night could be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm picking the second Ryan Fitzpatrick revenge tour, the playoff rematch, should I say. The Buccaneers travel back to FedEx Field to play us again. And on a morning game, I'm surprised I'm not even an afternoon game at least. So, and even, let's be honest, the Sunday night game they got right here, well, to be fair, the last two meetings is actually very good. That's before the Raiders got exposed. So they could maybe probably switch it if they got very competitive, and maybe his revenge tour beat the Buccaneers in an upset. Who knows? And gonna pick interesting game was Monday night, the Rams and 49ers, and it could be very interesting. And I think maybe I'm gonna say Browns and Patriots. I think it depends on how the Patriots' stats have been the last couple of weeks.
Right.
That might be very intriguing. So that's all I can say for week 10.
Absolutely. What's going on, Colt Squad? How you doing today? So for me, I'm gonna throw also in Baltimore, Miami. I think that's gonna be a really good game. Another game, not because they're really good teams or anything like that, but I think it can still be an entertaining matchup, is Atlanta and Dallas. I don't think they're really going to compete for anything. I think Atlanta and Dallas are both going to be better than what they were the previous year. But, as far as just matchups, I think that's a really good, evenly matched offense or matchup. Another game I'll throw in there, I think Cleveland, New England also could be a fun one. I think Green Bay, Seattle is also another game that could be fun too. I'm just going on the assumption that Rodgers was there, but Rodgers, Russell Wilson, I think that'd be a fun game. And then the Monday night game, I think, is another one that we should watch out for with the Rams and 49ers. That could be a battle for first in the NFC West. These are two teams that could potentially be battling to get out of the NFC. assuming everything works out in LA, like we're assuming it is with Stafford and whatnot.
And the
And
49ers hopefully gets healthy.
true, and it depends who their quarterback is too. I'm assuming Jimmy Garoppolo, but we are in week 10, so maybe they move on from him at this point. Maybe they go with Trey Lance and have him play. So that could be a fun game. It should be pretty good. And also, look, if you're in California, San Francisco area, $72. That's not bad. That's a great deal. I mean, you're seeing two great NFC teams. Come on, you got to do that. That's a game I definitely go to. So, or you can go to Jacksonville Indy game for $39. There isn't a lot of bad seats in Lucas Oil, so I do that. But yeah, and then also Tampa Bay, Washington. Washington could have the best defense in the league by this point too. It really could be that case, and who knows what Brady's going to be like. We're all assuming Brady's going to be great because it's Tom Brady, but you never know. So I think I'm going to start off with this one, and then I'll do the next one, and then I'll go back to you for week 13. But for me, a couple games I think we need to watch out for. I think that Thursday night game is going to be a lot of fun. Atlanta, New England. I think that's a really good game. Colts, Buffalo. Honestly, I think this should be a Sunday night game. In all honesty, I'm shocked that this game is at 1. I mean, you're having two of the top teams in the AFC, not including Kansas City, going at it head to head. Two teams that are going to potentially get out of the AFC in general, I think. You got a great defense going head to head. You got two quarterbacks who are really good. And then we can see, was the guy I was going back and forth with in the comments correct? Is Carson Wentz better right now than Josh Allen? Or am I correct that Josh Allen is just slightly, very, very slightly better? I said slightly. Look, these are two top 5, the top 8 quarterbacks. Like, these are great quarterbacks going at it. Okay, let's give Carson Wentz some time. Okay, it's going to take him a little bit. It's going to take a lot of people. Look at Tom Brady. Look how long it took him. Look what happened at the end of the day. They won a Super Bowl. Even Tom Brady needs some time to get used to a situation. Let's give Carson Wentz some time, and then we can criticize him if we want, or we can praise him, or both. I don't know. Do what you want. But this is gonna be a great game. Could be game of the week, in all honesty. Another game I'll throw in there is Arizona and Seattle. I think that'd be a great game. And I'm just baffled that the Giants and Buccaneers is your Monday night game. That's an embarrassing game to have on Monday night. There's a slaughter happening. What a great way to start the week for New York. But now I'll go to you now. What are some other matchups you see on here that we should watch out for?
Ravens and Bears could be interesting.
Yeah.
It depends. Bears status is as a team, and even who's going to be starting QB, their Fields versus Justin Fields. Going to be a very interesting game right here for the Bears playing the Ravens. Right. I'm picking. It depends on Sunday night. I picked this Sunday football game, even though it could move around. It depends on what the teams would do. Chargers and Steelers. It could be a very interesting game with very good defense for Pittsburgh as usual, and a good high-flying offense with the Chargers, and it could be very interesting down there in LA. So it will be fun on Sunday night. Muted.
I'm gonna tweet out the link real quick. I forgot to tweet it out, so whoops. That is my bad, but it is out. It is public, so everybody who is following can join. So I'll hop over to week 12 real quick. I'll throw in another game real quick. I think just because it's on the top of my head, I'm kind of curious about the Detroit Cleveland game too. I mean, that I think could be an interesting matchup. Could be a fun matchup, but it also could be a slaughter. We'll see. It depends what the Lions look like too. I mean, are they going to be eating kneecaps at this point, or are they just done? You never know. Plus, it's a Lions, so who knows? Obviously Thanksgiving weekend.
Speaking of Detroit,
Yeah, speaking of Detroit, Bears, Lions, that's going to be a great game, I think. That's a game I think we should all be keeping an eye out on. Maybe I'll go to Detroit this year for Thanksgiving. $87. That's not too bad. Tampa Bay, Colts, great game. This is the Robert Mathis celebration as he is going to be put into the Ring of Honor for Lucas Oil. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be buzzing. You got to win this, Indy. You have to win it for him. Sack Brady 5 times. Do it, please. Just pressure him 9 times, hit him 8 times, bring him down, hopefully 8 times, if not at least 5 times. Do it for Mathis. It's going to be a fantastic game. 2 of the top quarterbacks going at it, 2 really good defenses, and they're just 2 well-balanced offenses and defenses in general going at it head-to-head. I think that's a game we all need to watch out for. Again, not sure why it's at 1 o'clock. This feels like a night game. I understand, with Cleveland, Baltimore, going to be a great game. That's Sunday night game. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe move that to Monday night. But, yeah, because, look, I think Washington's going to be really good. I think Seattle's going to be really good. But Tampa, Indy should be a primetime game. Come on.
Many primetime games of Tampa.
Tampa has a lot. Colts have a few, but come on.
Come on. Are you saying we should about our Monday night football game? So we rarely have a primetime game.
We're celebrating Robert Mathis. We got to celebrate Robert Mathis.
I know.
Brady wins.
Just it'll be fine.
Last time Brady goes to Lucas Oil potentially. We gotta make that a primetime game. It's gonna be great. Come on. Definitely. It does stink, but no. I'll throw in a couple games. I think Sunday night and Monday night games will be really good games, even though one of those should be swapped out for the Indy game. Come on, swap out the Cleveland-Baltimore game. Okay, swap that out. You guys play each other twice. Come on, share. But yeah, I think that's gonna be great. How you doing, Anthony? Very pumped. Can't wait. It's gonna be this is gonna be a great season. No matter what fan of a team you are, it's gonna be a great season. But I'll throw one more out there real quick, then I'll go to you. I'll go Rams, Packers, another great game. Should be a lot of fun too. So now I'll go to you. What matchups do you think we should go, or that we should pay attention to? And yeah, I'm shocked how fast we've grown on here. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Thank you everybody for clicking that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. Everybody greatly appreciate it that comes on the channel. Thank you very much.
All right. We barely talk about the Thanksgiving games, which it could go either way. And basically, I'm gonna pick the most interesting Thanksgiving game, which is hope it doesn't move around all the time. The Bills and the Saints on Thanksgiving, so it could be more interesting. But even with the Bears and Lions, it could be maybe fun, I guess. So I'm picking a little bit outside the box thinking. I'm actually pick the Bengals playing the Steelers. Could be very interesting.
Okay.
It'd be interesting. Those 2 stats on the teams can we do very well. Who knows? Maybe an upset. The Bengals might beat the Steelers. Maybe pull up a big surprise. And I think maybe the 49ers and Vikings, I guess. And that's pretty much it. That's
true. I'll throw in the Giants and Eagles game. I don't think they're going to be contenders per se, but it's a divisional game. They don't like each other. Daniel Jones going up against the equally average Jalen Hurts is going to be a lot of fun. Plus, look, I have a warm spot for them because of Nick Sirianni. I hope Nick Sirianni does well there as their head coach. But I just don't have confidence in them at the moment. But we'll see. But yeah, those are pretty much it. Now we'll go to week 13. We're actually flying through this. It's crazy. All right. So I'll go to you next. What matchups do you see on here intrigue you the most?
Picking Um, Steelers and Ravens always always a fun when you see these two teams battle it out. Even though one of them doesn't do that great, they always have a great rivalry around there. They always have a very compelling matchups. But Chiefs and Broncos might be interesting. Bears and Cardinals, same thing. Um, a very that's pretty much it. That's all the one of the games that really stand out.
Yeah, for me, and this is
And
because
also
I'm gonna throw.
I forgot one more game. I
Yeah,
forgot to brought this up. Potential last 2 years quarterbacks. Joe Burrow versus Justin Herbert. The Bengals versus
yep,
Chargers. I know they do play last year, but in week one, but that was Tyler Taylor before Justin Herbert started. So this is my finally. They're gonna bash it up and see how it works.
definitely. So I'm gonna throw this one in there because I do have a prediction that goes along with this. I'm gonna go with the Dallas and Saints game. My prediction in this game is this. I believe this will be the first game that Ian Book starts at quarterback. I think by this point,
Sure.
Winston is going to be benched, or something's going to happen, and Winston will be taken out. I think he's going to make too many interceptions and turnovers. I think that's going to be a problem there. I know people are saying, "Oh, his eyes are fixed," but look, he did really good in Florida State. Okay, I'm pretty sure he saw the difference between the jerseys. It doesn't happen. You don't go from being able to see the jerseys to I can't see them anymore, or I'm mixing them up in like a year or two. I think he's going to make a lot of turnovers. I think he has a great arm, and if he gets the turnovers controlled, and we don't see that a lot, he's going to be awesome. I think he really will be, but I just don't have faith in him at this moment. I got to see it to believe it. I mean, look at Tampa Bay. That was a really good team. You know what I mean? He got great weapons to throw to and everything, and just didn't really do anything. Yeah, he got the yards, but he also had a ton of interceptions. So I don't see Taysom Hill starting as quarterback. I think he's going to play the same role as as he did when Breeze was the starter. I think that's what he's going to do. I think maybe he'll come in for a little bit, but I do believe Ian Book will come in and start. I think there's a reason why they drafted him. Because look, if Ian Book wasn't great, or I shouldn't say great, if he wasn't good, why would you draft him over some of the other quarterbacks that were available? So I believe he's going to start in this game. I'm calling it now. Thursday night, Ian Book is the Saints quarterback, but I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong because I have faith. I shouldn't say that. I hope is the right word. I hope Winston can do really good things there, but we'll see. We'll see. I just don't see Sean Payton wanting to lose an opportunity to make the playoffs again. If Ian Book gets that deep ball accuracy fixed, he's gonna be great. Another matchup I'll throw in there. I think Indy Houston is gonna be fun, at least for me, because Ty goes back home. He's gonna get his few touchdowns in that game. If Ty isn't really playing as great, up to this point, this will be the game where T.Y. Hilton will come in and just absolutely get back on track. I think T.Y. is going to be great from week one, but, still, if he doesn't play great, I got T.Y. Dominating that game. Plus, look, you got to go back home sometimes. It's nice to see people go home and have a lot of fun. So I'll throw that in there. Plus, it's a divisional game. You never know. Who's going to be the quarterback, too, by this point? So don't they have like 10 quarterbacks signed on their team right now? So, will it be Watson or will it be somebody else? I don't know. But if it's Watson, this can be a fun game, I think. I think it's be a lot more entertaining than what some people are probably expecting. Arizona and the Bears, I think it's going to be a fun matchup. Let's see. Is Justin Fields the real deal? Is Andy Dalton going to be the starter at this point? Shoe fly shoe. And then 49ers, Seattle. And then, yeah, I agree with you. Baltimore Steelers, too. That's pretty much the matchups I'm seeing on here. But yeah. And then, oh, no, you're good, man. Hey, I'm going to have some live streams going on where we just all hang out from time to time. We could talk about football. We could talk about anything. So, we'll see. And I'll throw this one up here before we get to the next week because we are going pretty quick. Now, Jonathan, you are a Washington football team fan, so
Yeah.
I'm going to let you predict who you believe or what you believe their record's going to be, and then I'll give my prediction on the Colts record.
I will tell you our ceiling, and I kind of put this on my Facebook, and which some of my family members liked it, but otherwise are not technically fans. Right here. I'm picking our ceiling will be like I'm picking like 12-5.
12-5.
And if I had to be more realistic, I'm gonna pick like a 10-7 mark. I'll be honest with that. So that's our prediction range. So our ceiling is like 12-5. Maybe possibly happen is 10-7, which is not a bad idea. Right. We way improved our last record, so that will be my prediction.
I think in the comments, because I commented something on there, I think I said you guys are going to go 11-6. However, I do believe by week 13, I said by week 13, you guys will have the division clinched. So, and then of course, I won't say his name because he hasn't been on the show, but SW didn't like that because he's a Cowboys fan. But for me, I'll throw my prediction in here. I'm really feeling 13-4. That's how I'm feeling. I think if we lose early, it would be like the Rams game. I think that's going to be the most difficult matchup for Indy. I think if we're going to have a loss in those first 5 games, it's going to be against the Rams. However, I think the Colts are going to do really, really good. I think they're going to win at least 4 of those games in their first 5. I think when the Colts lose, it's going to be games that they should win. I fully believe that. Like, honestly, they could lose to Jacksonville one week, but week 17 or week 18. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, okay, well, they clinched the division. They're in the playoffs by then. They got their spot pretty much. So, okay, if they lose that, whatever. But I'm thinking 13-4. Anthony says 11-6, 12-5. I could see 12-5 too, but I'm thinking 13-4. I'm feeling really confident about this team. I think, especially after you get past those first 5 games, which is a freaking slaughterhouse if I ever seen one, I think Indy's going to be in a really good position. But yeah, how you doing, Colts Home Media? Glad to have you here. And then Anthony says, what's up to you as well? But yeah, I'm thinking 13-4. I could see 11-6, 12-5, because really there's some games that they should win, like I said, that they'll probably lose. But then again, that's every team in the league besides the teams that are supposed to be like bottom 3. So that's just kind of my viewpoint on it. But yeah, we'll go on to the next week. And I'll have you go again, Jonathan. We'll see if I'm right about my Ian Book prediction for that week 13. There we go. No, too much. There we go. No, there we go. Sorry, there was a pop-up. Now we're in week 14. Colts have a bye. I probably should have read who has a bye that week, but whatever. Fun fact before we get into our predictions. So have you seen, and I found this out listening, I think, to Bring the Juice. Have you seen each year? It depends what bye it is, but how many years ago? 2, 3, 4 years ago, I believe. At week 10, whoever was on a week 10 bye won the Super Bowl that year. Following year, week 11, or whoever had a bye in week 11 won the Super Bowl. Year to that, week 12, and in week 13. And now this year's supposed to be week 14, which if that's the case, we got the Colts, the Dolphins, the Patriots, and the Eagles. Now, if Brady was in New England still, I mean, I think everybody would be like, well, of course New England's going to win the Super Bowl. But hey, look, there has been quarterbacks that have gone to new teams and then their first year have won a Super Bowl. So I just wanted to throw that out there. But to you, what are some matchups you think we should watch out for? And I'll pull up some comments up. But yeah, I really do feel like that, Brian. I do feel like they're going to go, 13-4. I feel really good about this team. They're super, they're super well balanced. And yeah, I know they do, but like I said, I think they're a much better team. Plus, they're going to have time to, work together and whatnot with the offseason. So they have more time to really come together and, get that chemistry formed and whatnot. And then Colts Media does agree with me. But yeah, what are some matchups we should all watch out for in this week?
I think the big one for me is Bills versus Bucks at Tampa, and could have been the Super Bowl prediction. Could have been the Super Bowl matchup, and it would be very interesting. It could have been maybe a possible Super Bowl next year. I propose. Who knows? And I think it will be a fantastic matchup, and I hope maybe push to also a Sunday night game because, well, no offense to the Packers and Bears, but we don't know sort of the status how the team will go. So I maybe we expect to switch them up. So I think we'll see that happening, and I would see maybe um, Browns and Ravens could be very cool. Could be fun. Chiefs and Raiders could be interesting, even though I don't think the Raiders will be that good enough to do it. But I think we'll put them competitive though, so they'd be like a very good Chiefs team. Majority of their roster somehow, and the rest of the year they didn't do that great. So I felt like they're gonna use all their juice on the Chiefs to beat them. They almost beat them twice, and pretty much right here kind of sold them out of it. So. And the Monday night game of Cardinals and Rams could be fun too. So there's some matchups that really stand out. And also, this is I just want we'll get to the upcoming games, but our first game, actually, first game against Dallas at home is going to be. If you look the last couple of weeks at our schedule, they're all divisional games. They're all divisional games. So, and this might be an open window. Let's just now you said like we're pretty much going to lead in the division. So if we get majority of the wins before all the divisional games, I think there's a clear sweep right here. So not sleep of wins necessary. I don't want to jinx ourselves, but I think it might be a little clear opportunity to do it if we got that far.
Absolutely. And yeah, I do agree. I think once they come back, it's going to get a lot better too. Dio Dingbo, just by what we're all hearing, just size wise, is massive. He's as big as DeForest Buckner, apparently. Like this guy's a monster. I can't wait to see him get out there. I cannot wait to see him get out there. But for me, Baltimore Cleveland should have been a primetime game this weekend. That way the Colts and Buccaneers could have been primetime, but hey, it is what it is.
And also, I also got to tell you about the last couple of weeks. Now, this year, Monday Night Football is now flex games now.
True. That is true.
Flex Monday Night Football games now. So we don't have some boring Monday Night Football games, which teams they thought would be good, which they're not. So they can flex them if they want.
True. So we could flex the Colts Buccaneers game to Monday night that week. But I see they could be. I think they're going to beat Seattle, and I think they're going to beat Tennessee at least. I'm calling it now. They're going to beat Tennessee twice. I truly believe they're going to beat Tennessee twice, and yeah, Mack and Taylor, they're going to go off. I'm pumped. In that offensive line with both of them, it's going to be nuts. But I'm going to throw in the 49ers, Bengals. I think that could be a lot of fun. I think the Bengals are doing some good things. I think that's a team we need to watch out for. I think Baltimore, Cleveland, all joking aside, great game always. This is going to be a lot of fun. This could be for the division lead. So that could be a great game too. I think Dallas, Washington, look, they hate each other. It's two divisional rivals. It's gonna be fun. I'm pretty excited for that game too. I think that's the game out of any of these I'll be watching. Well, I'll probably watch Tennessee, Jacksonville because division and whatnot. It's probably important by that point. And then Buffalo, Tampa is gonna be a great game. That's gonna be fantastic game. Rams, Cardinals, I agree. It's going to be fun. Yeah, I get it. The Bears, we don't know where they're going to be at. Who knows with the Rodgers situation? Like I said, I think Rodgers is going to end up staying in Green Bay. It's going to be a great game, I think, nonetheless, too. But we'll see. But I'll throw this up real quick. Rams at Colts off of 2 difficult away games. If you're going to make a statement, that is a good place to do it. Yes, exactly. You got to – if they can go ahead, if they can start out 2-0, beating the Seahawks and the Rams back to back, that's a pretty good statement, I think, too. I think that's something that a lot of AFC South fans that think that the Titans are going to win the division can be like, oh, I don't think so now. Because, I think it's hysterical that Titans fans think they're going to win that division. But, hey, congrats. You won your first division in 13 years. Good for you. But now we're going to go on to week 6, or no, I almost said week 16, week 15. That's the week. For me, I think a couple games I'll throw out there. I think the Chiefs and Chargers is going to be a fun game Thursday night. Surprised there's as many Thursday night games that are actually good as there have been so far at this point. I think that's going to be a fun game. New England, Indy is going to be fun. I think that's going to be a great game because, obviously the Patriots come back to town. We got to kill them because, was it Josh I don't give a fuck what his name is. He was going to go become the coach for Indy, decide, no, I'll be the offensive coordinator for New England for whatever reason.
Dodge a bullet. Can I just say that, though?
What?
You guys dodge a bullet. Like, once you dodge a bullet, like, you would have been a disaster better. Like, I don't care. He was a good coordinator in this. That guy, big team, just dodged a bullet. It would have been a disaster.
Look, I'm happy that he wasn't the coach. I am very, very happy because we got an even better coach in Frank Reich. That should have been the guy we went after from day one. Like, that's who we should have went after.
And the guy who beat McDaniels in the Super Bowl. So basically,
exactly. It's like, yeah, we got to go with him. Frank Reich, obvious. He's the better, offensive coordinator, and so far the better coach. We saw what McDaniels did as a head coach. Not great. I wasn't the biggest fan of that, but I don't like it when you say, yeah, I'll be the coach of your team. I'll fly there and then I'll turn around halfway there. I don't like that. So we need to kill them. Plus it's New England. And to be fair, we don't know if this is going to be on Saturday or Sunday because this is one of those games that could, be on a Saturday or it could be on Sunday. I guess it depends with a lot of these teams too. But that's a game, I think we should watch out for. I think it's going to be on Saturday, but that's just me. Another game I'll throw in there is I'll throw in Tennessee and Pittsburgh, another rematch of last year. That's going to be a good game, I believe. Rooting for Pittsburgh in that scenario. I think Green Bay, Baltimore could be fun too. And then Seattle and the Rams again. I think it's going to be a great game. Yeah, no, you're good, man. You're good. And then that's gonna be a test for sure. I think they're gonna do great. I think they're gonna win that game. I see a lot of people saying Colts are gonna lose that game, but I think we're gonna win. You gotta have confidence, Jonathan. You gotta have confidence in your team. But now I'll go to you. Speaking of you, what are some matchups we need to watch out for this week?
You said it. Pretty much first those games that really stand out. On Philadelphia, Washington, of course, another divisional game right here in the next 3 weeks. So it could be very fun. And it can be very stressful. It depends how the other team does. So it's going to be very stressful last couple of weeks in our schedule. And I hope we can take care of business at Philadelphia, just like we take care of them in week 17. Pretty much phoned it in, but still we need sort of finish the job.
Definitely. Look, I think anybody that's doubting the magic of Fitzmagic is crazy. Yes, bring it. I need Quiddy Pay to get a sack. Get a sack on Stafford. Let's do it. We got to do it. Get 2. Week 1, get a sack against Russell Wilson, then get 2 in week 2. That's what we need to do. But I'll go back to you again. Or no, wait. Yeah, no, screw it. I'll go to you. What are some matchups? It's Christmas weekend. But what are some matchups you think we should watch out for?
Christmas Day. What? Going from snow outside, drinking a hot cup of cocoa, watching football on a blizzard, watching in Lambeau Field with the Packers and Browns. That would be the one I can drink through right here.
That'll be fun.
And also, sorry.
Oh no, you're good.
My bad. I think maybe. I'm actually gonna pick the slated number 1, number 2 picks. Jaguars and Jets. Found the number 1 and the number 2 round picks of this year's draft. Zach Wilson versus Trevor Lawrence. I don't think the teams will be that good, but I think it would be a true matchup either way. So it might be the one that might stand out the most. I'm gonna pick Chiefs and Steelers could be interesting, and I think the Seahawks and Bears can be interesting. And I'm gonna pick and our Sunday night game could be very interesting. Go to AT&T Stadium, hopefully beat Dallas on their national television round right here at home, as we did on Thanksgiving. So, and maybe the Saints and Dolphins could be fun, and most likely might be flexed out.
True. Now I'll bring this up real quick. I honestly think at the start of the season, as far as attendance, it's going to be either like full attendance or really close to full attendance, just based on how everything has been, going with CDC, with the guidelines they've listed, and everybody getting vaccinated, or at least a good chunk of people getting vaccinated. I think they're going to get the go ahead to where they'll be able to give the go ahead for full stadiums. And I said this sometime last year to somebody. The prediction was right around when the NFL season started was when it was going to be okay for everywhere to have like full attendance for everything. So assuming that's what the businesses want. So I think it's going to be full, if not really close to full. But what about you, Jonathan? How do you feel the attendance is going to be?
Well, they kind of starting out to doing it with baseball games. So it's sort of starting at some of that rate, and even some basketball games when the NBA playoffs started. So it's starting to get up there. I think it's going to be half either way, sort of like slow paces, baby steps to get there. So it's going to be half capacity, in my opinion, and I think it will get some crowds there. So that's my opinion about this.
Okay. Yeah, I was supposed to go. I had season tickets last year, but had to move them for this year. Hey, I'll take this though. A great schedule. And then how's it going, Blue Nation? And then I do agree. I do agree with Brian. I think the Browns Packers is gonna be a fun matchup.
How much you Christmas? It's gonna some snow in Lambeau Field in Christmas time.
Absolutely. I think Christmas in Lambeau. It's gonna be a great time. All that snow. It's great to have. It's great whenever it snows crazy in Lambeau. I hope it's snowing like crazy in that game. Be a fun game to watch. Colts Cardinals is another great game. I think that's gonna be a lot of fun to watch too. Two really good teams. This is probably going to be a very important matchup for both teams, as far as like playoff, standings and whatnot. I think that's going to be a great game. I do agree with you that the Sunday night game is going to be a great game. And also, if you live in Dallas, you can go to this game for $22. So ask your parents or family members or whoever to give you tickets to this game for $22. It'd be a great game. I think it's going to be fun. And I do agree with Brian that I do think if he doesn't start out going nuts and airing it out by, let's say, week 2 or 3, I think by this point it's going to be great. And then, yes, we need the roads to be closed for Murray and Hopkins. We definitely need that.
Yeah.
And then I'll throw in one more game. I think the Bears and Seattle. I think that could be a fun game too. I think if he hasn't started yet by this point, we'll definitely see Justin Fields as a starting quarterback for the Bears. I just don't see Andy Dalton starting for the entire year. I do believe Andy Dalton will be the week 1 starter, though. And that's how I feel. I just feel like that's going to happen. It's going to be a few weeks, and then we'll see Justin Fields. But that's just my prediction on that. But I will pull up week 17 real quick, as we got 2 more weeks. And then, of course, it's playoff time. Wait. I just realized. Did I not show the 23rd? No, my bad. No, I had to have. I'm like. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we also have the 49ers and the Titans in week 16. You know what? I think it's going to be a great game. I'll throw that out there. How about you?
Yeah. Same thing. It could be very fun.
I completely forgot. I can't believe I didn't show the Thursday night football game. It is the Titans, so I mean there is no shame to not show them. I I don't think it's a big deal.
On Amazon Prime.
Yeah, that is true. But hey,
Oh, that's-
we're gonna have that on Amazon. So look, if you got Prime, there's that too. And then I think that's it for the Thursday night games and whatnot. Now we just have the Sunday night and Sunday and Monday night game. But to you, what matchups do you feel like are gonna be ones to watch out for?
I think we will see Baltimore versus LA.
Nice.
That'd be cool. And I'm gonna pick. Well, I think maybe the Titans and Dolphins could be fun, and I might see the Steelers and Browns again at Pittsburgh again for the rematch for the playoff game on Monday Night Football.
All right. For me, I'm gonna go ahead. I'll throw in Kansas City, Cincinnati. That could be a fun game. But look, I'm pretty big on Joe Burrow. I feel like I'm bigger on him than a lot of people because I think a lot of people aren't sold on him. I'm sold on him. I think he could be really, really good in this league. But I've seen some people go, he's not that great. He plays for Cincinnati. I get it, but I think Cincinnati's making the moves. I think Jamar Chase is going to be big for him as far as a receiver. So, I mean, they're loaded with the receiving game. They got the O-line. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a fun matchup. I agree also with Brian and you that the Rams and Ravens is going to be a fun game. I also agree Browns Steelers can be a fun game too. I think that the Eagles and Washington could be an interesting matchup because who knows what it's going to be at that point as far as the division. Who knows? Maybe these two are battling for the division, in this game. So that could be a fun game. I'll throw in the Colts and Raiders. I think the Raiders are decent. I know their offensive line is pretty much completely destroyed. But still, I think that could be a fun matchup. You just never know with that. And then I think Jacksonville and New England. I think that's going to be a fun game too. Obviously you have Trevor Lawrence going into New England, playing against Mac Jones. And plus, how does Trevor Lawrence look playing in Foxborough in December or January? I think that's going to be a fun matchup too. And then maybe Carolina and the Saints, that could be fun too. So I will go on to the final week. Real quick, we are already at week 18.
Week 18. First match.
This is crazy. Let's see. So here we go. No Monday night games, just Sunday games. No Sunday night too. That's kind of surprising.
Well,
unless they flex it.
They're gonna flex it. It depends. They have sort of like don't have a timer, but they still can have a Sunday night game around that. So
okay,
they're still ready for it.
Okay. I guess I'll go ahead. I'll throw a couple matchups out. Cincinnati, Cleveland. Who knows what the division's going to look like at this point, but I think that could be a matchup. Maybe they're battling for a playoff spot. Probably not because it's the Bengals. But hey, you never know. Joe Burrow, he's, like I said, really good. Maybe they have enough to make a push for the playoffs, get into that final spot. Probably not, but you never know. Most of these are divisional matchups, it looks like. Actually, they all are divisional matchups. But I think Bengals Cleveland could be fun. I think Indy Jacksonville could be a fun game too. But at this point, I think there's a really good chance that Indy rest a good amount of their starters. But if they don't, this could be a fun matchup to watch. Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and then Rams 49ers. But what about you?
Possible playoff implication matchup with the Dolphins and Patriots. If one of them try to battle for playoff spot, and think it could happen. I'm Cardinals and Seahawks, same thing, and maybe us versus the Giants. Depends. Right here, if we already clinched the division, but if we could play Spurs and the Giants, if they didn't make the playoffs, so maybe. And that's pretty much it. I forgot. Ravens versus Steelers. Along with that.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I think Seattle, Arizona too. That could be a fun game. And then, yeah, we got to break that streak at some point where Colts always lose in Jacksonville. They've lost like the last I don't even know how long or how many matchups that they've played in Jacksonville. The streak has to end. I'm hoping it ends this week or this year. I don't know though. They might be resting their guys by then, or maybe both teams are pretty much battling for something. So who knows? But there we have it. There is the entire schedule for the NFL season. If you didn't see week 1 through 8, we did that last week. So we just didn't have enough time to do all of the schedule. So if you guys are interested, make sure you go check out that episode. And then, yeah. So as far as the podcast goes, we'll be back with the podcast closer to the NFL season. We'll probably do it 2 weeks before the schedule or the season starts, I should say. And, I'll do some live streams where we can all hang out and talk about it could be Colts football. It could be anything. Whatever you guys want to talk about, we'll have a live stream. We're just hanging out. I'll make sure I let everybody know ahead of time when I plan on doing that. And, we'll go from there. So I will go to Jonathan real quick. Where can the people find you at?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at jpet1098. And also you can find me on Facebook at Jonathan Peck. And we're bringing back Sports Brawl. It's coming back. And I can't tell you what specific date is coming back, but I just posted on the Facebook at TMG Entertainment. We signed in to bring some not only sign up for not only returning players, for brand new players. If you're watching this right now, all you have to do to join up, if you're very interested to debate sports, is not only about the NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, NHL hockey, or any other sport, even tennis, golf, or even cricket, like any sport you love, we'll have that as your debate of your questions. And if you're very interested to compete in it, go join the Facebook group at TMG Entertainment. And I set up a little post right here. It has sort of a championship belt on Sports Raw right here, and sign your name on it right here. I hope we can join. We do need to bring new people. We will be watching the debate leagues not only with Sports Raw, but and Movie Battleground, even with Chokeslam, which is the wrestling debate show right there. So we're bringing those back and brand new and ever, and we launch it. So we do need brand new players. If you're watching this right here, and some of the subscribers not only subscribe to this show, but come subscribe to theirs. So we just need expanding a brand new space right here for the new year. So that's my call.
Absolutely. And here, I'm going to put your Twitter in the chat real quick. What is your Twitter again?
JPEC1098. And also make sure to post like the Facebook group and TNG Entertainment to sign up for Sports Bra.
Absolutely. And so if you guys are interested in not just football, but a bunch of other sports in general, like Jonathan said, make sure you go to the Team G Entertainment page. It's on Facebook. He has all the information there. Basically, you just debate about sports, and it's a lot of fun. I was on there a few times. It's a lot of fun. Here's both our Twitters real quick. Of course, you can follow the official channel's Twitter at Horseshoe_pod. Or you can just look up Inside the Horseshoe Podcast on Twitter, and it will come up. That just wasn't available because somebody thought it'd be cool to take Inside the Horseshoe from me, even though I have not seen a YouTube channel with that. So that's cool. But you can also find me over on Team G Entertainment as well. I might be on some of the debates in the future. Maybe. It depends if I have time. If I do, I'll be on there. I'll be debating, having fun. We also have a show called After Dark on the TMG Entertainment YouTube channel. It's just a hangout show. We talk about movies and pretty much anything in general. We have a political show called Cancel the Show, where, it's me, Alan Shepard. We just joke around and talk some politics and whatnot. And, of course, you can follow me on here as well. Thank you all. If you're new, once again, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. It would help a lot if you did so. We're at 227 subscribers right now. I'm shocked that we have that many right now. So thank you to everybody who has clicked the subscribe button. It means so much to me. If you like this stream, make sure you hit the like button. hit the bell that we are notified as soon as we go live for some hangouts and as soon as a video goes up. And thank you all for watching. That was Jonathan. I'm Matt. Bleed blue, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.